Well, I think anybody that wants to progress should want to hear when things are not working. But then all of these things are always their perspective to things. So I think there will always be a right way to bring things up, But I also know that people eggshell around when they want to make their comments. Sometimes you might come across as being brash just because you said it the way it is. So you probably want to skate around, a little bit so that it doesn't, But sometimes I feel if you care enough about what you're talking about, whether it's nicely said or not nicely said, you should say it. That's what matters. Well, I don't think about three strikes you're out. I'm kind of the person that's probably known to give people 20 strikes. It's just that when it's strike time, it's strike time. It's just what it is. So I think that mistakes are, there's really nothing like mistakes as such. What you want to look out for is people that are making effort, but you imagine a case when somebody makes the same mistakes repeatedly, and they become entitled to mistakes. Think about it. So you probably don't want to do that. You probably don't want to, not even probably, you don't want to encourage that. You don't want to encourage people that are not thinking, people that are not clearly developing. It's okay not to know something, but it's not okay to be comfortable not knowing something. Understanding the goal of a business is, or goal of why we're here, is very important. A lot of people don't even know why they're here. So you need to find a way to go close to the, so to speak, the emperor, to understand the vision of where you're going to. And if you know it, you're able to contribute properly. You're not just going to be warming the bed. Sometimes there are no work hours. You've got to be obsessed with what you're doing. So I mean, there's time for rest, yes. So when you say, oh, I'm available quality time for 3 hours, let me give you an example. You're trying to work on a story, and at some odd time, the story breaks. Maybe 10 p.m. at night, but it's not your work hour. And by the time you wake up tomorrow, 10 other platforms already launched that story. If you continue to do that, if that's your goal, to launch stories early, if you do that back to back for a whole month, you will get fired because you were never able to get the stories out. How do other people get the stories out? So yeah, it's not about being available 24/7. It's not about being a worker. It's just about knowing what is important to be done. The space itself, the color in the space, the art in the space, the thinking in the space is not total, meaning you can add your own to it and you can complete it. It's a call to do more, to add more. Nothing is perfect. I really don't like perfections, but I like that you make effort to make something nicer than yesterday. If there's a culture that I hope to be able to make sure we have, is a culture that people feel like we can work at this thing and we can arrive at this. And then tomorrow we can work at it again and arrive at something better. And that means you're contributing, not just taking orders and moving along. Over communication is good communication. Because what I have found, yes, over communication is great communication, in fact. I work with a lot of young people. People summarize too much. I have seen people summarize a 30-minute, 1 hour meeting with a client in one sentence. It sounds smart, like, oh, that's the idea is to do this. But seriously? Then when another meeting comes up, you find that the nuances, the difficult areas or the edges, the shades, the tones are not captured. You understand? And it becomes flat. So I think over communication is necessary. Another way to look at over communication, for instance, if you send somebody an email, you should send them a text and tell them they have an email. You should send them a WhatsApp. They have an email. If you're in the same office, you should take a walk to their office and tell them they have an email. Yes, I believe so. And that's what I do. I send you an email, I give you a call, I send you a text message. I'm trying to get your attention, because the act of sending an email alone is not the job. Imagine I sent you an email and said, something has to go by 8 p.m. and I don't text you. I don't find you. For some reason, you're not with your phone. Communication is a two-way thing. Until I get a response, I have not communicated. But a lot of people, I find that, oh, I sent him an email and I haven't heard from him. I dropped him a text. He dropped somebody a WhatsApp text and his office is next to yours. Oh, I sent him the design and we're waiting to get it to upload. Oh, where is the link? Oh, it's on the group chat. And the person walked right next to you. So it doesn't make sense. Communication is two-way street. It's because you want that thing to go at 8 p.m. That's where we're discussing this. Now, an indication that you do not care if the thing goes at 8 p.m. is when you don't do everything possible to make sure that person gets that communication. Is that you're trying to get that person fired? Let's be clear. And if you're not, then what are you really doing at the job?